The corridors of the palace were quieter than usual, a tense hush that seemed to hang over the air like a storm cloud ready to break. William's footsteps echoed off the marble floors, the soft scuff of his shoes betraying his racing thoughts. Just 5 minutes ago, the palace doctors had summoned him to a private room, and what they revealed left him frozen in disbelief. The air in the room smelled faintly of antiseptic, yet beneath it lingered something heavier, a weight of secrets, unspoken and dangerous. The shocking announcement. "Your Majesty," Dr. Langford began, her voice unusually steady, almost rehearsed, yet there was a flicker in her eyes that betrayed urgency. "There have been complications, not just typical ones. We've discovered something unexpected in the results." William's heart pounded. He had been briefed countless times on matters of state, on crises that shook the palace and the nation, but this felt different. He leaned forward, searching her face for clues. "What do you mean, unexpected?" he asked, his voice low but edged with steel. Dr. Langford hesitated, and for a fleeting second, the entire room seemed to contract. Then, she spoke, "It's not just a medical matter, Your Majesty. There's evidence of deliberate interference." The words hung in the air like an accusation. William blinked, trying to process the meaning. Deliberate interference? Within the palace? Who could possibly have dared? Whispers in the shadows. Before William could speak again, a soft knock interrupted the tense silence. A palace aide entered, eyes darting nervously. "Sir, a message has arrived. It's from an anonymous source, they insist it's urgent." William took the envelope, noting the peculiar seal, a black crest he didn't recognize. Breaking the wax carefully, he unfolded the letter. Inside, elegant handwriting traced lines of warning. Someone close to him was manipulating events, using the palace's own secrets as leverage. The letter hinted at clandestine meetings in the palace's hidden chambers, whispers of deals made behind closed doors, of alliances that could shatter the royal family if exposed. His mind reeled. The palace, once a sanctuary of tradition and stability, now seemed like a labyrinth of danger and deceit. Every familiar face suddenly carried a shadow of suspicion. Could the doctors themselves be involved? Or was this an external threat, a ghost from the past returned to haunt him? William stood abruptly, pacing the room. The weight of responsibility pressed down, heavier than ever before. He knew that whatever the truth was, it needed to be uncovered, quickly and discreetly. A single misstep could ignite a scandal that would shake the monarchy to its core. As he left the room, his phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number, "Meet me at the East Wing at midnight. Alone. The truth cannot wait." The words sent a chill down his spine. William had no choice but to follow the trail, even if it led him into the heart of a palace riddled with lies. Secrets beneath the marble. The East Wing was dark, eerily silent, save for the faint sound of dripping water echoing through its ancient corridors. William moved carefully, each step measured, senses heightened. Shadows clung to the corners, twisting familiar statues and tapestries into grotesque shapes. Somewhere deep within, a figure waited, the messenger who claimed to hold the truth. "Your Majesty," a voice whispered from the shadows. It was soft, melodic, yet carried an unmistakable threat. William tensed, recognizing the tone from someone he had trusted long ago, someone who had disappeared from the palace under mysterious circumstances. "Why should I trust you?" William asked, his voice steady, though every nerve screamed in caution. "Because the palace itself is no longer safe," the figure replied. "There are things in motion that even the doctors cannot control. Deals made in secret, arrangements that will change everything. And if you do not act, the consequences will be irreversible." William's stomach churned. The figure handed him a small black folder. Inside were photographs, documents, and coded messages, proof of hidden meetings, clandestine rendezvous, and whispered deals that implicated individuals he had considered loyal. But the most chilling revelation was a name he had never heard before, one connected to both the palace and distant political powers. Every line in the folder screamed danger. Every photograph hinted at betrayal. William felt the familiar walls of certainty crumble, leaving him exposed in a maze of secrets where every shadow could hide a threat. "Why reveal this to me?" he asked, suspicion sharp in his tone. "Because," the figure replied, stepping back into the darkness. "The next move will decide everything. And you, Your Majesty, are already 5 minutes too late." The words echoed in William's mind. 5 minutes too late. The thought of lost time, of secrets already set in motion, clawed at him. He knew that the palace he had walked for decades was no longer a home, but a battlefield. And tonight, the first pieces of a dangerous puzzle had fallen into place. Shadows of betrayal. The moonlight slanted through the palace windows, casting long, sinister shadows across the grand halls. William's mind raced as he returned to his private chambers, the black folder clutched tightly in his hands. Every page of photographs and coded messages burned with implication, revealing a network of whispers that suggested even the closest confidants could not be trusted. The palace, once a sanctuary of tradition, now felt like a labyrinth of betrayal, each corridor hiding secrets that threatened to tear the monarchy apart. As he sifted through the folder, William noticed an ominous pattern. Meetings that coincided with certain medical reports, messages exchanged at odd hours, and figures who appeared repeatedly but never publicly acknowledged. Someone had been manipulating events under the palace's nose, using insider knowledge to bend outcomes to their will. And the doctors? Their involvement was more than just suspicion, it was a calculated chess move. A knock at the chamber door startled him. Without waiting for permission, the door creaked open, revealing Dr. Langford herself. She looked calm, almost serene, but there was a tension in her eyes that William had never seen before. "Your Majesty," she said softly, "I think you need to see this." From her coat, she produced another set of documents, encrypted files, and a keycard, proof of hidden rooms within the palace, rooms that were used for meetings nobody was supposed to know about. Whispers of illicit deals, secret correspondences with foreign entities, and evidence of manipulation were all detailed here. William's blood ran cold. "What is this?" he demanded. "The truth you were never supposed to find," she replied. "And it's far bigger than you realize. There are forces in the palace that will stop at nothing to protect their secrets, even if it means destroying anyone who stands in their way." Midnight confrontation. William's next move had to be precise. Midnight approached, and the palace was a ghostly silhouette against the sky. Every creak of the floorboard seemed amplified, every flicker of light a potential threat. He traced the coordinates found in the keycard, leading him to an ancient servant's corridor hidden behind layers of wallpaper and forgotten memories. At the end of the hall, a concealed door waited, opening into a dimly lit chamber filled with artifacts and symbols of the past. There, in the flickering candlelight, figures he never expected confronted him. Allies he had trusted for decades stood alongside unknown operatives, their faces shadowed, their intentions unreadable. Gasps escaped his lips as he realized the magnitude of the betrayal. It wasn't a single rogue agent, but an entire faction operating in the shadows, manipulating events with precision and patience. "You shouldn't have come here, Your Majesty," one of them hissed, a cold smile twisting his lips. "This palace has secrets that even the crown cannot protect you from." William stood his ground, the black folder still in his hands. "I will uncover everything," he said, voice hard, determined. "No more whispers. No more shadows." The room seemed to hold its breath. Then, a sudden explosion of movement. Documents scattered, figures lunged, secrets threatened to escape into the open. But amidst the chaos, a hidden alcove door clicked open. Another folder, labeled with a symbol William recognized from the anonymous letter, revealed the ultimate twist, an identity that had been hidden from him all along, someone whose very existence threatened to change the course of the monarchy forever. Shock paralyzed him. The evidence pointed to a hidden heir, a figure manipulating both past and present events from behind the curtains of power. And more terrifyingly, this person had been orchestrating the palace's internal strife, feeding misinformation, and exploiting medical reports to control perception. William's pulse raced. He had anticipated intrigue, whispers, and hidden agendas, but nothing had prepared him for this revelation. The palace was not just a home or a fortress, it was a stage for a dangerous game of power, with players he didn't even know existed. And now, the stakes had escalated beyond anything he had imagined. He glanced at Dr. Langford, who met his gaze steadily. "You have to decide, Your Majesty," she whispered. Expose the truth and risk the palace collapsing in chaos. Or conceal it and allow the shadows to tighten their grip. Either way, nothing will ever be the same. William's hands shook as he closed the folders, the weight of centuries pressing down on him. The palace, with all its grandeur and history, had revealed its darkest secret. Even in the heart of tradition, betrayal thrived, whispers ruled, and time was a luxury he no longer possessed. The night stretched on, silent and expectant. Outside, the world remained oblivious to the storm brewing within the palace walls. But inside, William knew that every whispered meeting, every secret document, and every hidden truth had led to this moment. A moment where the monarchy's fate hung precariously on the edge of revelation. And somewhere, in the deepest shadows of the palace, the person who had orchestrated everything watched. Waiting. Patient. Knowing that the next move would decide everything. This concludes part 2. It brings the investigation to a shocking peak while leaving room for more twists, secret alliances, and dramatic reveals if the story were to continue.